contain it, and you're gonna just explode, man.
Now this is Job 27 and 13. This is the portion of a wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children to be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Those that remain on him shall be buried in debt, and his widow shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as the dust and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on.
You may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, man. All this stuff that you see here in America, I don't want none of it. The Lord was like, I don't want none of this. I want to recreate a whole new way, the old way. You know what I'm saying? But whatever else comes with it, spiritual powers, the access to certain things that we don't know about, so be it. But everything he saw us created, he ain't about to take it with him. What does the scripture say? That we entered in this world naked, and we're gonna go out naked. See what I'm saying? So all this is gonna be taken away from him. Even his whole thing about the RFID chip, he's gonna try to implement to where it's gonna be perfected. The Most High not gonna allow that. That's where the Most High is gonna intervene and cast that down. All right, and I'll show you how. This is Revelations 18 and 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahawah hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all.
Right. There's not going to be any more remembrance, like the brother said earlier. It's just going to be blotted out. Scriptures say that if anything dwells there, it's just going to be the foul beasts, unclean animals. But it said that with violence. Because you wanted to do things violently, all right, violence is going to pursue you, but it's going to be double. And real quick too, I was to say the reason because, actually something I was going to say a while ago when we were reading about the apple of the eye. You notice that you ever tried to touch your pupil before? You can't really. That's like the most sensitive area of the body. You can poke someone in the arm, it's not as much. You're not going to really react in a hostile way, but you poke someone in a very, very sensitive area that's not supposed to be messed with like that. It's just giving you an example of how much Esau is really, messed with the Most High, messed with the people. But he did it with like violence, So he's gonna be dealt with violently.
This is Jeremiah 51 and 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take palm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies.
Right, reaches unto heaven. See, that's why, like the brother was saying about how, Yahawashi didn't want this place, doesn't want this place. We don't want this place. We don't want this. We don't want to put it on. Yahawashi wants to destroy this and make something better. Like they had a few months back, when there was a guy who came up to the Dallas camp, and he was basically mad that Yahawah had destroyed the old world. He was basically mad at that, But the brother Ariana was like, "So you're mad at the Most High destroyed something, and then remade it exactly the same way again, but better?" Like it didn't make. But that's why he became Satanist or Satanist. He loves Satan instead. But there's something better out there. There's something far more, way better than a rock building, man. Scripture's saying the kingdom, man, the streets are going to be paved with gold. Our houses are going to have technology that we can't even comprehend right now how it works. Like they have like in these movies, they have some doors that are like nano technology to where the door makes itself into a wall. You know, they have that in the White House. They have those doors that they try to. You can't really tell where the doors are. It's gonna be in the kingdom where the doors are gonna be part of the wall, but you can make it into a door. And nothing defiled or unclean is gonna enter into Israel in that time, in that door. Nothing unclean or defiled or deceitful will enter into the kingdom.
Everything's gonna be perfect in that time. You know what I'm saying? There ain't gonna be no malfunctioning. There ain't gonna be no disruptive neighbors. There ain't gonna be no disruptive interferences with the things that you have, your possessions. Your children are gonna be obedient. Your women are gonna be obedient. Everything's gonna be right. You know? But like, you 2/3 settle for this, and that's fine, settle for it. You know what I'm saying? That's your lot. The brothers out here on the highways and the byways that risk their lives, they're looking for something bigger and better. Like Hebrews 11. You know? But America is going to be destroyed with violence. Esau's going to be destroyed with violence. You 2/3 are going to be destroyed with violence. Alright? For everything you've done. You mistreated the earth. You didn't give a shit about the earth. You didn't give a shit about your own life. You didn't care about the Bible. And ultimately, you didn't even care about Yahawashi because you treated the men on the highways and byways like shit.
Hebrews 11:8. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out to a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed. And he went out, not knowing whither he went.
Because the scriptures say many are called, but few chosen. So Abraham was that few number. He was chosen. He was called, but yet he was still that amongst that number. He was chosen, and he was moved with faith to go out and do what was commanded of him. Just like when we come out here, we're doing the same thing. Yahawashi is calling out to you and telling you, "Hey, you have a duty." All right, and most of you, the majority, are going to reject that duty.
Right. By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise.
The heirs of him of the same promise. So how you heathen, you natural Gentiles, Edomites, Israelites, Moabites, Ammonites, how are you putting yourself into that equation? Okay, now we know that all the Israelites are scattered through abroad, so you're going to have some that look, I'm not going to say some, you're going to have them that look like Edomites, you're going to have them that look like a Japanese, Chinese, a so-called white man, all right, East Indian, German, a Russian, because Israel was scattered everywhere, all right, but you natural Gentiles, you heathen, the Gawayim, you try to fit yourself into that equation, or you try to fit everybody into that equation. Israel, but also the heathen. It said that Abraham Abraham and he dwelt in the tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs of the promise.
Just like the elect are heirs with Yahawashi.
But Abraham is an heir of Yahawashi because Melchizedek was Yahawashi. He's the one that went. And Abraham gave him that 10th part of the tithing of the spoils. But we're all the heirs of Yahawashi. Lord, if we're the elect, we're the heirs of Yahawashi. Because Yahawashi was already in the beginning. He didn't just come on the scene back in in the BC or AD. I forget the year he was born. It was probably like 32 AD. Salakia, if I'm wrong on that, but it was around that time, and might have been earlier than that. Salakia for that.
They said it's about like 4 years before year zero, or it's called
4 years after or before.
Before.
Okay.
Yeah. Before. Hey.
Yeah, we'll double check. Yeah. Go ahead.
It said, but by faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as an exchanged country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which had foundations, whose builder and maker is Yahawah.
He looked for a city whose foundations was the builder and maker of God, Yahawah. All right, and that's what the brothers are looking for. We're not looking for this. So look at this road right here, there's a bunch of cracks. There's nothing nice about it. At any time, an earthquake could occur right here and split this whole goddamn land in half. See what I'm saying? Nothing sure here on this side. It's all temporal. All right? This tangible shit is going to be put away. It's going to be melted and burned away. We look and seek for intangible things, spiritual things. Go ahead, read.
It said, verse 13, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
Right, those are those ones that were being crowned by Yahawashi in second Esdras. Because you stood so strictly for the name of Yahawashi, the doctrine, the truth, to the best of our ability, man. Alright, and then one thing, man, I've been noticing, a lot of brothers been jumping on that, the brotherly love, man. And it is a very serious thing, man, that we have to be amongst each other more often, okay? And the brothers, I've been like noticing a lot of brothers are hitting that topic, that subject, and you know, and that's what Yahawashi requires of us. Wanted to bring that out, and you know, so do everything you can. What is that one in I think it's in 1st and 2nd Timothy? Make that diligent, like call an election sure.
You should say Corinthians or something. My bad, too.
Yeah, Timothy. This is 2 Peter's 1 and 10. It says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fail. And it's important, you know what I'm saying, that we do everything to the best of our ability, wholeheartedly. All right? Because it's required of us, you know what I'm saying? So just want to say that. I don't know, the Spirit jumped on me. It just made me want to say that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very important thing that they're being pushed out. Because at the end of the day, that's all we got. You know what I'm saying? Like Abraham said that Isaac and Jacob dwelt with him in the tabernacles. All right? And they searched out for a foundation whose builder and maker was God. And we're the only ones that are looking for that. Nobody else is doing that. All right? And us being out here, we're spiritually building what they call an ark, man. Right? We're spiritually building a wall that you know, basically we're like sealing ourselves. We are sealing ourselves because the scriptures say, seek out that salvation with fear and trembling. All right?
I just had a simple one. Hebrews 13:1. Let brotherly love continue.
Yeah, let brotherly love continue, man. Like I made that comment earlier that these 2/3 are envying and hating each other, man. They ain't got each other's back. You know what I'm saying? So the brotherhood is very important and very precious in these days of darkness, man. That's what we're in. We're in days of darkness, man. We're in the days of demons running around, you know, devils, man, witches, warlocks, murderers. You know, we're the only ones that are coming out here standing up against these great evils, man. Standing up against Babylon, man, Egypt. And in those times, those kingdoms were very vicious, man. Egypt was very vicious. You had who else? Rome. And the scriptures say that Rome was like a dragon, man. Right, with sharp teeth, claws. You know, that's how it was depicted. That's how vicious that kingdom was, man. So we're standing up against the great beast when you come out on the highways and the byways, man. And at the end, all we got is who you have in your camp. You know? Because the days are short, man. And at the end, like I read that one in Peter's, make thy calling and election sure. You know? And we got to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Hebrews 13 and 12. Wherefore Yahawashi also, that he might sanctify the people with his own blood, suffered without a gate. Let us go forth therefore unto him without the camp, bearing his reproach. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come.
Right, here we have no continuous city, man, because I could say the Lord wants me to be here in San Angelo, but the Most High can get me out of here and go to a whole different city. You know, or you can't survive in a city, so you move with family members in a different state or whatever. You know, so you always constantly moving, or you can't live in that apartment or that house all your life because you lose hours at your job, or you may lose a job. So what does that mean? That you're jumping from apartment and house, living with relatives, whatever, back and forth. You know, because we have no continuous dwelling, a solid dwelling here in America. Because they make everything so hard. They make everything so. Everything here is oppressive. Everything's here. The way Esau got everything set up is set up against the elect men to make it, as far as like to at least be like, man, you know what, we got our bills paid and whatever. He makes it to where he makes you want to give up. He makes you, and that's all that whole behold the pale horse, the what was it, the solid weapons required horse. That's part of the logistics, is to attack the head of a home, which is the man, break his spirit down, and then everything else will fall into place. Because Esau knows the woman is unstable. Esau knows the woman lacks wisdom. So hey, let's have the woman run the household. We'll manipulate her, tell her whatever we tell her, she's gonna do it. Versus a man, he's not gonna buy for the shit. He's not gonna buy that shit. He's gonna fight against it. But that's how Esau does his stuff, man.
For here have we no continuing city, but seek one to come,
which is the kingdom.
By him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise to the Most High continually. That is the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name.
Alright, that's us coming out to the highways and the byways, singing this new song, risking our lives, being not conformed to the ways of the world. How? By them coming up to us, telling us, you can't be doing that, you can't preach that, by saying that we need to be in a church. Why don't we get a church? Why don't we get a building? Go ahead.
It says, but to do good and to communicate, forget not.
To do good and to communicate, forget not. Communicate what? These words, man. These prophecies. Right? Meditate in the prophecies, like the scriptures say, day and night. Go ahead.
But to do good and to communicate, forget not. For with such sacrifices, the Most High is well pleased.
For such sacrifices, the Most High is well pleased, man. Right? And that's what the Most High requires of brothers, is to communicate and to make videos, go out to the highways and the byways, which is a big part of it, but also to communicate, make them videos, you know, communicate with one another. Because here, you know, we don't have it here, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't got your families will leave you, man. You can't talk to your families like you used to, unless the Lord has it set up that way for you. You know, at the end, this is all we got. You know, the word, Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, and the brotherhood, and that's it, man. Because at the end, that's what it's gonna boil down to. You know what I'm saying? So
How you
When
gonna?
hell breaks through, that's what it's gonna go to.
I was just saying, like, well, how are you gonna? When everything's popping off, how are you gonna greet people when you come into contact with the enemy? I mean, the way of knowing, getting a bet, like, what do you call it?
Relationship.
No. The way of discerning that person, I guess, moving it down closer to where you can tell, like, this may be an enemy, it may be not. You salute one another. You salute the brethren. All the brethren don't really salute is Yahawashi Shah Barakatah. If you come up to an enemy that day and you're like Yahawashi Shah Barakatah, but he's like, what? You know not to trust him. That's what the brotherhood has. They come in and they be Yahawashi Shah.
Not only that, you can examine, you can discern the spirit. And you can know, just like in the times when the apostles got scattered and they apprehended Yahawashi, Peter was, they said that he spoke as if one of Yahawashi's followers. And what did he do? He did exactly what Yahawashi prophesied he would do, and that was deny him 3 times. Because they knew, some saw him, but also some said that he sounded like it was one of Yahawashi's followers. So you can know who's of the world. You know who's of the world and who's not of the world. That's the difference. That's the thing about having to be spiritual and having discernment. Because anybody can come on saying Yahawashi Barakatah. There's brothers or so-called brothers that are in. The brothers are bringing out that are not really in, and then somewhere down the line they get kicked out for whatever reasons. It's none of my business. But there was one brother a guy that was in the truth. He got kicked out. He was the one from South Carolina. That happened 2 weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, or less than that. He got kicked out of the camp. He got kicked out, and he was a known brother. You know what I'm saying? Out there by himself, preaching the word by himself, and then out of nowhere, the elders got rid of him.
This is 1 John 3:14. We know that we have passed from death unto life, because we love the brethren. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death.
Right, because before we came into the truth, what happened? We're doing the same thing what happens now with the 2/3. Arguing, hating each other, fighting with each other, disagreeing with each other. But now we came into life and we find that we can agree with one another and relate and get along and whatever. We trust each other. You see what I'm saying? And because we all want that same thing. We all want deliverance. We want that crown. Read that one again, if you said that.
1 John 3:14. We know that we pass from death unto life, because we love the brethren. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death.
Right. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death. Man. So that's where I brought that scripture, 2 Peter, make that calling an election sure. Right? And we gotta examine ourselves and push this thing right. And not handle the word of the Lord deceitfully. Okay? Because the Most High is merciful. He'll give you brothers chances, us brothers chances. But when we recognize those things, we gotta hurry up and correct it. Lord allows it, we've gotta get it right, man.
Verse 16, hereby perceive we the love of the Most High, because he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
And we gotta put our, that whole self-centered bullshit, that whole it's all about me. The great, what does it say? The great, what is it worded? The brother that's humbler is the greater. The least brother is like the greatest. I believe it's like somewhere in the gospel. But it's to that effect. Yeah. Meaning that man that puts himself up in the place of another man, he's basically like the greater one. Because he's sacrificing, humbling himself over to be in the place of his brother. That's what Yahawashi is the greatest. Because he did that when no man would ever do that for the nation of Israel. Israel was left was left out like a bastard. But Yahawah was like, nah, hell no. I made a covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to send my son to redeem them. Not, he didn't say I'm going to come back. He said that he's going to send his son to redeem them. All right, so Yahawashi did the greatest act in all mankind for a numerous amount of people that's actually going to benefit from it. Because Esau had turned, oh, well, our American soldiers go out there and die every day, and you have family members that die every day, and they join the military, and that's why you can be able to walk around and do whatever you want. But that shit ain't gonna benefit me. I know the truth. I know what's gonna happen, man. I know America's agenda. I know the government's agenda. They're going over there trying to just take over shit, bullying people, start shit up, divide and conquer. All right. I know the truth about why these wars go on. I know about the Zionists. All right, the Amalekites. I know about Esau. I know about the Edomites. I know what they do. I know the ways they work in the world. All right. Esau loves war, man. That's his sport, man. That's his blessing, the sword. All right.
It says, hereby receive we the love of the Most High, because he laid down his life for us, and we have to lay down our lives for the brethren. But whoso hath this world's goods, and see this brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of the Most High in him?
Right, and that's to a certain extent too, though, you know. Yeah. But and that's part of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and one of the main things is this truth. You know what I'm saying? Because if someone can't accept knowledge, anybody can accept gifts. Anybody can take a gift, but if you can't take instruction, why are you gonna keep giving that man gifts? Because that's the whole point when you come into this truth, is to apply knowledge, which makes you wise. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. And this is not just any knowledge. This is knowledge to help you here in hell. This is our light. Right? This is the lamp to our footsteps. King David said that. Alright? He hates, what else did he say? That he hates lying. But this word is what guides us into this dark path that we live here in America. Alright? What other one did you have?
I have an example. Just a real quick one. John 15 and 13. Or verse 12, it says, this is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Well, and that's because people in the world, man, the scriptures say that when you come into the truth, you're a new man. You put off all, like the one in Colossians real quick, where it said to put off all, seeing you have been renewed in the spirit, beseech that you put off these things as well. Because in the world, man, you don't act, brother. You don't act out of love, man. The scriptures tell you, man, that the world, the love of the world and the love of the Father are completely contrary to each other. You're gonna act a totally different way when you're in the world. You don't act out of love or compassion to people in the world. That's why I say this all the time. The quote with the brother Yahawashi said, man, he very well said there is a code of conduct that does not apply to the world that is different from the men, the elect.